the talent we've hired through RemotelyX, specifically from Lebanon, these guys care so much and they want to be part of the culture.
What's going on, guys? Andre Hakel Jr. here, back with another case study interview for RemotelyX, here with Abed. How's it going, brother?
Good, man. Good. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Of course, dude. Well, just to warn the audience, there's going to be probably a little bit or even a lot of bias in today's interview because both myself and Abed are Lebanese. So anytime we're speaking of, Lebanon and the people from Lebanon and the talent specifically, which we'll touch on in this interview, there's definitely going to be some bias, but it's backed up with some pretty, solid data and a ton of other people all around the world that are really advocating for Lebanese talent. So, dude, if you could just let us know a little bit more about yourself, and then we'll get into how you're using RemotelyX to help scale.
Well, I'm only half Lebanese, so maybe on my end this will be half biased. But
Me too. To be fully transparent.
Okay, cool. So maybe two halves make one whole. Anyway, to answer your question, a little bit about me. I'm the CEO of ABMG, our company, AB Marketing Group. We're business to business marketing. We've been doing this for almost a decade. Thanks to Remotely, we've grown our team significantly from being only in-house, which was us a few years ago, to now, I would say 40% of our team is overseas, thanks to RemotelyX. The biggest thing that we've had is finding the right partners, which, and look, like we've tried other agencies or recruiting companies. I guess I shouldn't mention their names, but we didn't really have a great experience, which is why we connected with RemotelyX, who we found through Eddie. Eddie's a good friend of ours. And once we partnered with RemotelyX, we made one hire, which was my EA. She's incredible. Shortly after, we've made 7 hires, and this was all within 2 months. That should really paint the picture of how great the process is, the talent that they find, and the experience they provided for us. It's seamless. I sent a text in the Slack chat. We get candidates 2 days later, and we make a hire in like 2 days after that. So,
dude, that's so cool. So I run a couple of different marketing businesses as well as a coaching program and a SaaS. And so my experience has always been just hiring people online. I've never really worked in an office environment. We have people all over the world. And so the perspective that you bring is really interesting, having only done in person up until recently. And I was recently talking to Patrick Bet-David's team as well. He runs a company called Valuetainment, and they're strictly in office. And we're talking to their team, trying to pitch them on RemotelyX and hiring Lebanese talent. They're asking really good questions about what's the selling point of remote talent versus having in person. Like, isn't in person just a lot better? So like maybe you could help answer that question, especially for the audience out there that's wondering, like, why go overseas instead of in person, or at least have a mix?
I mean, that was our thought process or ideology for 7 years, was only in person. There can be a misconception or negative stigma with sending work overseas, if you will. Once we open our minds to it and heard the success that people we knew were having and how they were building infrastructure through remote talent overseas, we were like, okay, we have to at least give this a shot. And once we saw the candidates, forget hiring them and seeing them actually do the work, once we just saw the talent pool, we were like, okay, this is a game changer. And that really broke the belief for us, and which led to nearly 50% of our company being a remote overseas. I can keep going, but hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, dude. So like you said, you hired from a bunch of different places to start. It's awesome that you kept going and you were bullish on it to the point where you're like, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. Then you come across RemotelyX, thanks to Eddie Malouf. Shout out to Eddie. He's awesome, man. He's in the space like all over the place. He spoke at one of our events years ago. And then when I got involved with RemotelyX to start this company, around a year later, I reached out to him. We reconnected and we brought him in as a partner. And he's been invaluable, especially with bridging relationships like this. But what was bad about those initial experiences that caused you to keep looking elsewhere? Was it the talent itself?
Say the entire process. It'd be dealing with the recruiters themselves before even meeting any talent. I'd say a big investment up front compared to the way that you guys structure it, which is better from my perspective. The talent pool is significantly better. Work ethic wise, most of the team members we've brought on don't have an accent at all, and I know that can be a concern. Their English is probably better than my English, and I was born in the U.S. They're extremely hardworking. But yeah, I mean, we've tried South America, we've tried the Philippines, and that's typically what you hear is hiring VA from the Philippines. It's cheap, but quite honestly, you get what you pay for to some degree. And I just think they're breeding different talent in Lebanon. I don't know what you guys are doing there, but it's working.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, and like I've done enough of these interviews. I know Eddie's hired a bunch of people from Lebanon. I currently
Mm,
have over 40 people on my teams at my software company and at my coaching program that are in Lebanon. And so
yeah.
like yeah, like this is our secret sauce, dude. And I've done the same thing you've done where I've gone to Ukraine, I've gone not physically, but I've hired from Ukraine, I've
Right.
hired from the Philippines, I've hired from South America.
Mhm.
And like the biggest like eye-opening revelation for me was when I found that Lebanese talent. One, it's still super cheap because of the economic situation over there. But number two, like it was cheap, but I could still feel confident and comfortable to put them on calls with my clients.
Right.
I could not say the same for any other overseas talent, but Lebanese talent, and that changed the game for me.
And you know what? I'll further and reinforce that point for you. A lot of the Lebanese talent we have are client facing. They're CSMs. They're not like media buyers behind the scene and nobody knows who they are. Like they're talking to clients, and they're some of the best CSMs we have. So
Yeah, bro, it's hilarious. Like if you go on to some of our review sites for like our software company, you'll see like in the review it mentions like the Lebanese CSM more than the freaking software. And I'm
wow,
like,
wow.
it's like crazy. These guys they're so good about like just hospitality and their personality and
Right.
their that they bring to the calls, and they're so passionate about the work that you give them. And I've heard this so many times, it's just like it repeats itself. And that's just like the culture. I mean, you're Lebanese, you probably are connected with Lebanese here in America. You see what Eddie's doing. Like it's very rare for you to meet or come across a Lebanese person that's not super driven and ambitious and just has like, yeah, just a good personality. So
I just want to add something. You didn't touch on this yet, but a concern that we had having everybody in person was the culture we built. Like our agency is known for having really good work culture, environment, and taking care of our team members. So we were concerned, hey, how do we carry this type of company culture overseas, right? On the other side of the world. The talent we've hired through RemotelyX, specifically from Lebanon, these guys care so much and they want to be part of the culture. Sure, like you could easily just do the work and tap out, but like they want to be involved. They're asking, hey, how do we make ourselves part of what's happening here in person? Like you'd never know that they're not here. It's crazy.
it's so cool, man. Yeah, and like if you're a good leader, you have a good organization, you guys have company values, you have a good culture already, like those guys will fit in and just make it
Right.
even better. Like they'll contribute to making it better, which is the best part. I've never had to deal with like having some in person and some overseas, so that is super interesting, and I'm sure there's a lot of key learnings there. Like you're talking about like how quick it was to get interviews, and I'm sure that's super important for you because you're not someone that wants to wait around and go and hire recruiters and wait for talent to be sourced. So like, what was that onboarding process look like from like, hey, here's a role we want to fill. How quickly can we get it done?
Great question. I mean, you guys typically have the roles we're looking for, and in some cases, what we were asking for, you didn't have. You guys have created, role guidelines and found people that would fit that description of what we were looking for and customizing it for us. So the speed's really important, especially, if we're trying to replace someone who's not cutting it with a higher performer, which we've always found. Quite honestly, I don't even think we've used the like 60-day replacement window that you guys have. I don't think we've used that once. But to answer your question, the process has been seamless and really quick. Just when we have a need, we make it clear to the person in the Slack channel, and then we have what we need within a matter of days. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm happy you mentioned that because that is part of the offer. It's like if for whatever reason the person is not a fit and you
Mm,
realize that within 60 days after hiring them, we'll
right.
replace them for free without you having to pay another placement fee.
Mm,
And full transparency, like I've recently done that, and that's not like a common thing. It's very rare, but like it's there if
sure.
you need it. And the nice thing is the guy didn't work out. It was a misfire on my end because I just didn't properly vet for a specific skill set that this role required. We got into it for a week or two, realized it wasn't a fit, and they had replacements lined up and ready to go. And it was a smooth, easy replacement. We got the guy compensated for the work that they did, and that was it. It was really smooth. So yeah, it's awesome just to hear like there's guys in the U.S. that are Lebanese that are now tapping into the ecosystem and the talent pool over in Lebanon
Yeah.
because it is truly unique. And for a while, Eddie and I always joke like this is, like I said, our secret sauce. Like, do we build a business to share with the world, or do we keep it to ourselves? But like the country
Right.
of Lebanon really just deserves to be put on the map.
Yeah, I agree. And like here I am thinking, how can I travel out there or have some of my remote team come to the US and be a part of what we're doing because they're crushing it. So
Dude,
I agree.
you have to go out there. I was just out there in May, so 2 months ago, and we
Hmm.
did like a huge get together with all the guys that work with us. And there's nothing like it. Like I've met
Yeah,
these guys, I've shook their hands,
I
I've had
know.
conversations with them, and you get to feel like the impact that you have on their life. Like you're like they're telling me that they got married because of this role. They were able to retire their parents because of this role. They were able to move into a nicer house and closer to the city, or actually go
Right,
out in the summertime and like not stress about finances. And it's just, dude,
right.
it's so amazing the impact.
Agreed. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, if you're listening to this, guys, this is not the first time we've done an interview like this, where a very, very reputable, successful, high level business owner here in the U.S. has gone overseas to Lebanon to find quality talent to help grow in their business and strengthen their team and their culture. And so, if you guys are interested in learning more and finding talented Lebanese for your company, go to RemotelyX.com. And I always say, like, the best selling point is the fact that you'll get onto a sales call with someone in Lebanon.
Hmm.
And so, give them a chance
Right.
and you'll see the level of talent just through that interaction and experience. And you can go from there and make a decision. But dude, Abed, thanks so much, brother, for the time and also for just trusting us with the talent that you guys are bringing into ABMG.
100%, man. Thank you. Appreciate everything you guys do. I can't wait to do some more hires with you guys.
Yes, sir. Same here, bro.